Right, question one. Here we go. So, um, what could I say about this? Well, study sources A and B. How similar are these two sources? Use details of the sources and your own knowledge to explain your answer. So, you've got to say one way in which these things are similar. The word similar should be appearing in your answer. So, you should be able to go through your answer and highlight where you've focused, where you've used the word similar. But also, I'm going to add in there, because it's asking how similar are these two sources, you've got to also have comparing words in your answer, like however, uh, or likewise, or similarly. Now, those are the things you've got to include. All knowledge needs to be in there. Some of you were missing one of these things somewhere or other. And then quotes or features from the sources. So you've got to write about the sources. And generally speaking, most of you wrote about the sources. What you should have picked out, published during the Second World War, 1943, which of course is in the Second World War, a government leaflet, a government poster, both by the government. Um, you could, it's valid to pick out the odd difference. So, leaflet poster, that's a bit easy. But what's less easy is this sort of bigging up women, saying, "Come on, women, time to get joining in with this war effort and put out your paper, metal, and bones." So the things that they use, if you can put it out for recycling, they can be used to make those things. A mistake that a number of you made is to suggest that this was asking women to go and work. If you'd read the source carefully, you would have noticed it doesn't mention anything about going to work. It's about putting those things out because they make planes, guns, tanks, ships, and ammunition. So there we go. A feature here is it's quite stereotypical. Look at these women. Look how they're dressed. Look what they're doing. There's a little dog there running along. They're clearly housewives. Source B is quite similar because it suggests that women are good at knitting. That's a real stereotypical view of what women do. And it also says that women, once they've overcome any initial nervousness due to sparks. So yeah, the both of them are sort of in a stereotypical view of women. The difference that you could pick out, A-star people might pick out, is this is quite patronising towards women. So you'll be picking those features out and that little quote there perhaps. What's your own knowledge in terms of this question? Well, you should be aware that women did a lot of work during the Second World War. The men were away fighting and the women had to contribute. Because the women, of course, they were left home. And Britain was at times worried that they might actually lose the war against Germany. To us looking back now, we know we won, but at the time it wasn't as clear cut. So the government really needed to appeal to women to contribute in either work or in other means. So there's a similarity there in terms of the purpose, the government trying to convince women to contribute to the war effort, but also a difference because here it's trying to convince women that they are able to work on men's jobs, whereas this one's saying, look, housewives, come on, give up, donate the things in your house that we could use to make these things. And I don't think barely anybody picked out that this is all about making stuff. But anyway, it's the similarities you've got to focus on the most. I'd say the biggest error was comparing words and focusing on. There's some people have written about source A and then source B. This is how similar are these two sources. So you've got to have those comparing words, which would mean you're focusing on the question. And there we go.